And Steven Matz, that's one of the names among many that I forget the second someone says it to me.
Yep.
Steven Matz for Bla1 Jordan, which is a name I do remember. But Bla1 Jordan, they were going to get rid of him after the year anyway, weren't they?
You know why I just said this to Murray. You know why you remember the name Bla1 Jordan?
Because of Blaze.
No, because I have told you multiple times over the last several months that this is precisely the kind of guy they should trade. So this is the kind of guy that they need to move. There was no space for him here. He didn't factor in. He never really lived up to what they thought it was going to be. He was never part of it. He was never really part of the plan.
He was their 20th ranked prospect, but again, was I reading he was going to be like one of those guys eligible for Rule 5 because he was out of service time or whatever, blah, blah, blah. He was out anyway.
Correct. Gone. See you later. And so now again, Steven Matz, like it's just your run-of-the-mill lefty bullpen pickup. That's all it is. Your run-of-the-mill lefty bullpen guy. He can get lefties out, righties beat him over the head like he's a baby seal.
It's not really what they need. It's not enough. I know that at the very least. You still need a number 2 starter who could use a bat. I mean, he helps theoretically, gives you some depth in the bullpen, but was that like a major need?
No. Again, like you can. That's one of those, Murray, that I always chalk up to. You know, you can't have enough lefties, so you might as well just walk down to the local bar and see if anyone can throw a bottle against the wall 100 miles an hour. And if he can, sign him up and bring him in because what the hell, we need another lefty. Who doesn't need another lefty? But is he some sort of major piece that alters their fate? No, it isn't. They haven't done that yet, at least. 4 hours to go. My hope is that if there is a big deal to be made, it's one of those that gets made at the last minute. But with some of the names that are coming off the board today, how could you be confident that there's something coming?
Well, because Joe Ryan's still out there, and there at least seems to be some online buzz from Jared Carrabis and a few others that maybe the Red Sox are still in. But you're right. I mean, the clock's ticking. You got less than 4 hours here. There's still a lot of Devers bucks left over, and theoretical fake Juan Soto money too, if you want to, because they were in on Juan Soto in the offseason. So they got a bunch of prospects as well. So do something. Overpay. Everyone else is overpaying. Seattle's overpaying.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go.
The Seattle thing to me is like Exhibit A and the argument against them. They tried, they being the Red Sox, tried to make a deal with the Mariners over the winter for pitching and giving them offense because everyone knows that the Mariners need offense. Everyone. The Mariners wouldn't do it with the Red Sox during the offseason. They wouldn't do it. They didn't like what they were getting, or they didn't want to give up one of their starting pitchers. And basically the message there is, we would rather wait. We think something's better is coming along. In the last week, they've added a small bullpen piece too, but the real changes there have come on offense, which again is what they were talking to the Red Sox about. So in the last week or so, they have added Josh Naylor and now Eugenio Suarez from the Diamondbacks, who's one of the home run leaders in Major League Baseball this year. They've added one left-handed hitter who can impact the game and a right-handed hitter who can impact the game. And I don't think they've given up any of the pitching that the Red Sox were talking to them about trying to get for Tristan Casas. So you tell me, who looks like the smarter team? The Mariners or the Red Sox? Seattle called their bluff, was able to help their lineup without giving up their starters, and the Red Sox are still holding their Louisville Slugger in their hands, trying to figure out which way is up. So they spit on your talent, said, good luck with Tristan Casas, we don't want him. Now Casas is out for the year. To me, the Mariners have nailed it. And the Red Sox, again, standing there with their thumbs in their ears.
Where are the Mariners in the standings?
Basically right next to the Red Sox.
Yeah, they're tied for the third wild card right now.
Yeah, they are a primary contender or competitor for one of those wild card spots.
Chief competition.
Yep, absolutely, 100%.
And to this point in the process, they are running circles around you, basically.
Correct. They have outmaneuvered you, and really starting in the off season. I mean, they turned down what you offered them because they looked at it and said, that's not good enough for us to give up a starter. We can get something close or better for less. And they were right. They were right. They have absolutely executed what they wanted to execute, and you're still standing there.
Thoughts on where the Red Sox are with less than 4 hours to go until the MLB trade deadline? 3 hours, 51 minutes, and change until the deadline. Chris Catello at your number, 617-779-0985. Lines are open. Chris Catello of Mass Live has been live tweeting all day. He wrote this. Boston has $9 to $10 million to go before catching up against the CBT threshold, the tax threshold of $261 million. That would seem to be hard to get to. And that means $9 to $10 million of prorated salary.
Correct.
In other words, you could sign a $20 million a year player and still be below the tax because of what they have left this year. So $9 to $10 million to go before catching up to the tax. That would seem to be hard to get to. But one executive who has had talks with the Red Sox has said money is a factor in their negotiations. There's always a possibility of a John Henry imposed budget, which in this case would be higher than the ones he has installed in previous seasons, but that money is a factor in their negotiations with the Red Sox. Your thoughts?
I mean, what other thought could you have that what a horrible look? Are you kidding me? So wait a minute. You trade Rafael Devers. You shave, let's just make it simple. You save $15 million off the books right out of the gate because you paid half his salary. You tell people, or your chief baseball officer says that you do have some money to play with and that this may be something that can facilitate a deal for you at the deadline. And then the deadline comes and other teams are out there saying, well, they're money conscious. What happened to all the money you freed up from Devers? Is that if that's accurate, and I'm not telling you it is or it isn't, I'm just telling you if that's accurate, boy, did they look bad. Boy, did they look bad. And would it really be shocking to any of us if that were the case?
Of course not. Please, don't you believe it to be the case unless they prove to us otherwise?
Absolutely.
You hear it from too many guys, too many people. Really tapped in, national guys, Jeff Passan, local guys, Chris Cotillo, former executives, J.P. Ricciardi. They're all saying roughly the same thing. The budgetary constraints put upon the baseball people by ownership. So we're back to where we started from. And Rafi Devers simply being to save the money. We just have MLB Network up here. Did they just, Yandy Diaz just got pinch hit for?
Oh, he
in
did?
a game where he's playing this afternoon. Did I just see that, Jimmy Stewart?
I believe he got hit in the hand while playing today.
Okay, so
okay.
that's another thing there, too. Yes, he did. So he got pinch hit for, but he also took a pitch off. It looks like the inside of the elbow, maybe, if this game is live, and we're just seeing that in real time. So there's stuff happening by the moment. You guys got your Twitter decks up, right? Like you're following this. I can't even get on to it. It's the one day I guess I do wish I was on.
No, you don't.
You're right. But so
Diaz is undergoing X-rays. That's why he left the game.
Okay. So various tweets, rumors, etc. Just keep them firing as you read them and as you see them. Just break in and say what's being tweeted, please. Keep me up on that. But to me, the whole backdrop of today, the whole backdrop of the season, is the Rafi Devers trade. You traded your best hitter, and you did it at a time and to a team that I think is obvious, and the other owner confirmed it, that you did it just because they took on the salary. That's why you did it. That's when you did it. That's the team you did it with. And again, it was just confirmed by the Giants owner himself, because they took the contract. So you sold your best hitter for money. What are you going to do with the money? And what are you going to do the rest of the year? That's the context of the team and the season, and that's it. That's not a talk radio narrative. Those are the stakes. When you do that, everything gets judged against that trade.
Yep.
And today's going to be judged against that trade. He saved you a bunch of money. The Rafi Devers trade saved you a bunch of money. They were over the tax before the trade, correct?
I think that is right.
That trade put them below the tax. Are you going to stay there, or are you going to go back into the tax? Are you going to use that money? Or are you going to use those resources? Or are you still going to try be as good as you can be this year? Are you going to prioritize winning this year? Because that's what you said when you traded Rafi Devers. This was not waving the flag on the season. So are you going to wave the flag on the season? And is the season going to go down the toilet as a result of it? That's the backdrop of the season. So let's see what they do. They have to spend that money as far as I'm concerned. They have to make that investment, whether it's cash, prospect capital. They have to reinvest in the team, or else they lose whatever moral high ground they might have been able to claim with the Rafi Devers trade. And that's the context today.
How can you ask your fans to believe when you don't believe? How can you ask your fans to believe in the product, believe that you are trying to win when you don't necessarily show it? And not even necessarily, when you don't show it. So that's, to me, again, the words are always, you can always say whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's about what you do. That's what it is. It's about what you do. You trade away your best player and you don't really reallocate that money, well, then what do you expect your fans to believe?